What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an updated list of the worst 6 brawlers in the game right now. So we had over a month to really define the worst brawlers in the game, so we're going to be running through those. So before we jump into the video, make sure you're using the create code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, guys, so jumping into the 6th worst brawler in the game right now, we have Bo. So Bo right now, of course, is going to be really bad in terms of a lower end of the spectrum. You know, he's pretty strong. He gets a really high pick rate on low level power league whenever I'm playing on my mini account, and just, you know, low trophies. He seemed as okay, maybe because his mine's, you know, kind of hard to dodge for people that aren't that great at the game. But when we're talking high end of power league, trophies, whatever else competitive, he's not really used whatsoever. The only reason you'll probably end up using a Bo is because of his super totem. Like for brawlers that have like a really good super, for example, like a Tara, you know, can get some good value out of this super totem. But other than that, Bo just really not the greatest. There's no real place for him in the meta. There's no really place for Bo in the meta right now. In previous metas, he's always been okay in like at least one game mode, which has seen him not really being like one of the worst brawlers in the game. But it's not really a place for him right now. As I said, like just really bad across every single game mode. And the main reason this kind of stems from Bo is that in previous metas, he's only really been good because of his gadget, right? You can think of like the bounty and knockout meta, like with that super totem. It was really frustrating facing off against the super totem. You know, getting a free super, it was really cheesy, especially on a bounty with like Nanny, Taras, etc. That then got nerfed. And then also before that, Bo was really strong because of his tripwire gadget, but he's never really been strong in the meta without a good gadget. So I believe, again, something needs to change with his just main attack, whether it be damage, whether it be something to do with his super as well, making him a little bit stronger. Just something kind of has to change within Bo's main mechanics. Again, it could be like another change what they've been doing with brawlers like Daryl, Mr. P, where they could just add like his mines as a baseline thing, and then they could get like another star power perhaps. I don't really know, but that is going to be the 6th worst. Let's hop into number 5. All right, guys, jumping into the 5th worst brawler in the game right now, we have Nita. So Nita might be underrated a little bit, but I feel like she deserves a spot in the worst brawlers in the game right now. Like, she can do okay when it comes to just normal ladder, but I'm just mainly talking about competitive here. I've never ever seen Nita involved in the meta whatsoever. I just feel like she doesn't do enough damage. Her bear gets easily taken down. She really lacks range when it comes to lane. You know, you can think of a lot of the lane brawlers in the game right now. Basically every single one will just outlane her. Likes of Spike, Sandy, Tara, Ems. Trying to think of some other ones as well. Like basically every single one down the lane is going to be able to beat her, and just makes it really frustrating to play. Like, she was only really good in like Heist and Brawl. She's not really great in Brawl right now. And again, it kind of stems out of 2 issues for me, which I've probably addressed already in other videos, but it comes down to, for me, like her damage. I just feel like she doesn't really do enough damage. Like really aggro brawlers can just go up close to her and kill her because she doesn't do a lot of damage. And also her bear, when it comes to high level, you know, that can just get taken down within a flash. Like, especially since the introduction of damage gear, I feel like the Nita bear has just been taken down much easier than before. So whether Bruce gets a buff, whether Nita just gets a main attack damage buff, something needs to happen, because she's just been sucking for such a long time now. But in this game, we're actually kind of popping off. I mean, at least we've got some okay counters we're up against. Again, like, Nita isn't unusable by any means. I just thought I'd put her within the bottom 6 just because, again, her play rate is just absolutely atrocious when it comes to competitive right now. Never really seen her in scrims whatsoever. Again, it could be a case of people underrating her, but I just seriously think she's really not strong right now when it comes to Brawl Stars. But it just goes to show, like, even being, in my opinion, like a bottom 6 brawler, like, she's still usable when you're playing her on ladder order. That's one of the good things about Brawl Stars right now, is that most brawlers are still somewhat usable. By some means that Mortis tried it. I don't know how he didn't score that. That was basically an open goal. You absolutely love to see it. I think there's a bee hiding in this bush. We should be able to pounce on her. So to see that, I'm not even able to take down a bee with 3 shots, which is a big pain there. That's going to be the 5th worst brawler in the game right now. Let's hop into number 4. All right, guys, so jumping into the 4th worst brawler in the game right now, we have Edgar. So Edgar is completely useless when it comes to 3v3 modes. Even when he's facing off against 3 of his best counters, I won't really say Edgar is a great pick whatsoever. Again, another brawler that isn't really seen any playtime whatsoever in this meta, and it's just even more so now with the likes of Gale in the meta. Like, Gale just hard counters Edgar so much. It's so incredibly hard to do anything up against Gale because he's got his gadget, he's got his knockback. You know, jumping on a Gale is literally suicide. So I'm just gonna do it just to show you guys how bad it is. Again, I'm just gonna get pushed across the map, and yeah, that's a wasted jump right there, and it takes so long to get your super with Edgar. It's one of the main reasons why he's so bad. So the only problem with trying to buff Edgar is that in solo showdown, you know, he's just going to be way too strong. So I feel like we're not really going to buff Edgar anytime soon, which is a big rip to a lot of Edgar mains out there. But I can understand why, because he'll just be way too strong in 3v3 modes. He's just got really weird mechanics, which if you buff him just a little bit, it could easily make him one of the best brawlers in the game. So you got to, of course, be really careful for that. So I don't know how they actually change that going forward, because of course you don't want a brawler where you're scared of buffing because of solo showdowns. So yeah, I'm hoping that there is some sort of change to him in the future. So at least we're able to get a goal there. So of course Edgar isn't like completely unusable. I would say, of course, you can still get some okay value out of him, especially if the opponents aren't like conserving ammo. You can easily just burst down anyone, but against those good players, it's going to be really hard to play a decent Edgar. So that's going to be the 4th worst. Let's hop into number 3. All right, guys, so jumping into the 3rd worst brawler in the game right now, we have Karl. So I might be underrating Karl just a little bit again here, but I'm just really frustrated at not really seeing any Karl in competitive right now. The only map which I really saw any playtime with Karl, that was Crystal Arcade. But as time goes on, you know, Karl really is just easily countered in the game, and that's one of the most frustrating things about it. Like, opponents just can easily bridge the gap closer to him, and that's where you're going to get countered. So I mean, in some cases Karl can be somewhat usable, but again, with Gale in the meta, Gale is just going to stomp all over Karl. He's going to feed Gale super easily, and again, it's like 2 ways to counter Karl going in. And again, it's just another big issue with Karl, that his super just gets interrupted by so many different brawlers in the game right now. So unfortunately, Karl just not really the greatest. His pickaxe takes such a long time to return to him, again allowing brawlers just to get closer to him. So again, it's not like a completely unusable brawler in the meta, seen as I put him as the 3rd worst brawler in the game. You can still use him somewhat in some games, but he's not going to be the brawler that really pops off and carries. You know, people kind of use him because he's like somewhat fun to play, but if we're talking strictly, you know, playing to win, I don't think I would ever pick Karl in my composition, because just of how easy he is to counter. So that's mainly one bad reason for him. So I was trying to sneak a goal in there, but it's not looking likely that we can get a goal right here. Gale's just going to have a field day on us. Going to look to heal up though. Jesse should be pretty weak here. I mean, I'm kind of waiting for Daryl to roll in here. Okay, I was trying to put my gadget in time there. Unfortunately, couldn't get to the button quickly enough, and it's looking like we're probably going to lose here, because Karl's not going to be able to do enough damage against the likes of Daryl. And also, it just like, I'm just thinking of it as well, you know, there's just a lot of assassins in the game right now that can pounce on you much easier and, well, a lot harder to counter than the likes of Karl. You got the likes of Edgar, not Edgar, you got the likes of Fang, who's obviously like one of the best brawlers in the game. He's got that dash ability, which is just 100 times better than the likes of Karl. And then you also got like brawlers like Daryl, who of course kind of slipped down in the meta, but he's just a lot harder to counter when he rolls in than the likes of Karl, who's just really exposed Karl when he dashes in. So it just begs to think, what would you actually do with Karl to make him somewhat viable? Of course, you can add a increase pickaxe speed, which I feel like will help him quite a lot. But with this additional range, you know, Karl could be crazy with this buff, so gotta be careful of that. So that's going to be the 3rd worst brawler. Let's hop into number 2. All right, guys, so jumping into this 2nd worst brawler in the game right now, no surprises whatsoever here. We have Penny. So Penny is just down bad, just so atrocious right now in the meta, and it really does frustrate me, because I always wondered, like, why does Penny never get buffed? I know that her turret can be pretty toxic, especially at the lower ends, but we saw like a good buff to Jesse not too long ago, when their concern was like Jesse was too good in the lower end of trophies. So why isn't Penny getting like the same love and treatment with a nice buff? I don't really know. So of course, for me, again, I've said this time and time again, they need to probably nerf her turret, because of course that's one of the main things they're concerned about, and then buff her main attack. I just feel like that would be a nice change to Penny. Maybe make it so you need like 4 hits for your turret, but then your turret's just like really weaker in the sense it's easy to take down, doesn't do as much damage, etc, etc. Like there's a bunch of different stuff you can do with Penny that's going to make her much more viable but not as toxic. Also, I just thought of an idea not too long ago as well. Again, there's a lot of changes with brawlers that are near the bottom in terms of their like baseline stats, but there's a lot of like star powers that just make more sense to be baseline. So again, with Penny, I feel like balls of fire should just be like a baseline star power. So maybe there could be a better star power in the future to use. And again, like her other star power is just completely useless. I feel like that just needs to be completely reworked, and then in the future you might see a bit more Penny when it comes to competitive. So I mean, Penny, I do really enjoy playing her. She's one of those brawlers which you could probably get away with playing in multiple modes. Like at least her turret can carry you for the most part, but again, when it comes to competitive, just never ever seen. There was like a short brief of time where Penny was a little bit meta in bounty when, you know, I think it was in dry seasons, for example. There was a good composition with like the bow totem and then Penny, you know, cycling to get that turret. But I just feel like Penny's just never seen any love when it comes to competitive. You know, it's probably been like 3+ years since Penny's even been anywhat viable when it comes to the top of the meta. So really unfortunate. I don't think Penny's gonna get any type of balance change soon. It feels like they're really reluctant to do anything on her right now. So looks like we should be able to score here. So really nice. We've got our turret leaning towards overtime as well. And also like Siege, I feel like Siege was one of her best modes as well, and that got removed, so that's even going to decrease her viability in the meta even more. So just not a game mode she's really great on right now. Probably her best mode is going to be gem grab, just because of her turret can really help you carry some gems. So looking like we should be able to pick up the win here. Should be able to break. Okay, no, we can't break the Mortis's ankles. That is a big rip here. Just going to heal up a little bit, and even the damage kit doesn't really help Penny too much because her damage just downright sucks. So again, our brawlers can easily dodge it in the open as well. Got such a slow shot speed. So yeah, it looks like we're going to really struggle to kill Bull here. And yeah, it looks like, again, that we can somewhat defend it. Fang's just going to pop off, and that should actually be the win for us. If Fang passes it across, should be able to super shot that in. So yeah, that's going to be the second worst. Let's hop into number one. All right, guys, so jumping into the worst brawler in the game right now. Again, zero surprises here whatsoever. We have Lou. So Lou, downright atrocious in the meta. So bad. But I feel like, again, he's not like completely unusable. Like you can still, against some compositions, pop off, especially if they have multiple tanks. You can constantly cycle your super, but that's like the only good thing about him right now is that ability to cycle on those tanks. Other than that, never really seen any type of usage in the meta. Again, hot zone he's not really great in anymore. In Siege, that's obviously removed, so his ability to just solo defense, you know, that's not a strategy anymore, and that was a reason why it was somewhat usable in the meta. But all of these reasons are the like reason why Lou is just so bad. So again, I feel like he needs a big rework. Something needs to really change in Lou because he's never really been good. I've always said that his main attack just needs to change in some way, giving him like more chances to hit more shots, because that's one of the bad things about him. You can't hit shots on enemies that are like in the open, especially good ones. They can easily dodge it. It's got such a slow attack, so multiple ways to buff Lou, but it's kind of getting repetitive just saying how bad he is. So I'm hoping he gets some love soon. But that's going to be the worst brawlers in the game. Well, let me know what you think are the worst 6. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.